Hello everyone, welcome to the Game Uncensored on Cool FM 96.9. My name is Joey Akan and the Game Uncensored, this is a new show that brings you the best of the music industry. What you listen to, the songs you hear, the people that do things, people that bring you the music, the artists, how does it work? A story breaks out and everyone goes political, don't say this, don't hurt anyone, don't say that, don't hurt the next guy. But, well, the game is the game. That's what it is. The game is the game.
End, all these actions fit into a larger context, and that's really all we're about. Like, just putting all these things in context, helping you to understand how A leads to B to C and comes back, the cycle of life and all that shit.
Okay, I have my man Segun Akonde here.
You already know.
Okay, and this show goes on every Saturday by 7 p.m. on Cool FM 96.9. You can follow to be a part of the show, join us, talk to us, tell us what you really think. You don't like what we're saying, that's your problem, but you can still share it.
Like, share your feelings.
Like, you can engage me. I'll respond to you. I will respond to you. The handles to use for this are Cool FM Lagos on IG, and on Twitter you have Cool FM Nigeria. For me, I am Joey Akan on Twitter and Instagram. Across all platforms, Joey Akan. And you, Segun?
Yes, Segun Akonde with an underscore. That's SEGUNAKANDE _.
Okay, so Segun, what do we have for today?
Today we're talking about something that's polarized most of Nigeria across social classes, music tastes, but most importantly, I think legally and in terms of moral implications. We're talking about Yahoo Yahoo. Why do you always laugh when, but yeah, we're talking about Yahoo Yahoo. We're talking about it in the context of the Nigerian music industry, the events of the last couple of weeks, 10, 14 days.
Okay, so for those of you who have not followed the story, Naira Marley has been in the news. Has been a guy that has dominated headlines. Every page talks about Naira Marley. Every influencer has an opinion on Naira Marley. I saw a video recently when he was granted bail. And then we had an entire crowd of people, not just people, young people on a weekday. That was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday midweek. Was it Wednesday or Tuesday?
Actually, Wednesday.
Wednesday or so.
Week, yeah.
But it was midweek, and we had Nigeria's youth coming out en masse.
In throngs.
That's a good one. We had them coming out in throngs and screaming Malians. And then Naira Marley, after they granted him bail of 2 million naira, 2 million naira, federal shorty, landed property, you know the works, he came out, and while they were screaming his name, he put his hand up. Black Power Fist. Black Power Fist. The first question I want to ask those people, everybody in that video who wasn't a key player there but came out to chant for Malians, what are you supporting? What do you stand for?
What do you represent, bruh? Like, it's important to even know where this whole thing starts from. Most people would say they came in contact with Naira Marley in, I think, around the time of the World Cup.
Yeah.
The song Is a Goal pretty much just blew up, and it fits into the hypermarketing that went on around that period for Nigeria's participation in the World Cup. Marley kind of just picked up from there, was steadily dropping jams.
Was dropping music.
Dropping great music. We had songs like Chakpa.
Yeah,
I mean, his work with Zlatan is very interesting, actually, because like they've been doing some very interesting stuff
friends,
together.
Man.
Yeah,
they were arrested together.
I mean, we'll get back to that. we'll get to that, but yeah, Marley has a very interesting nickname. It's called Igbolabi.
Igbolabi. See, the thing about, hold it there. Igbolabi. See, anytime anybody mentions Igbolabi as a word, it just reminds me of marijuana, that is like smoking something that's very illegal. Very illegal.
Is illegal in Nigeria.
Well, this one, the one called Igbolabi, if a police gets you, they won't just take 5k from you or anything from you. Guess what they're going to do? Straight up, they're calling a judge.
Just carry out.
Straight to the judge. Straight. No, not court. Judge's house. Justice. Instantly. Straight up. They're sentencing you. Igbolabi.
Bruh.
Is that what they're supporting? Igbolabi.
So Igbolabi is a Yoruba word that literally means we have given birth to Igbo. Like, this child is Igbo. We have breathed with marijuana. And Mali represents.
So Mali was born high. Is that what it is?
I mean, like, we'll have to ask him or whoever was around him at that time. But he's come to represent that image, that ideal of being an ambassador for marijuana. The other thing he also represents, wittingly and unwittingly, is internet crime.
Internet crime. Yeah, that's why he was arrested. Recently. It's nice to have conversations about this. I know it's very touchy. I know internet crime is a result of a lot of factors.
Yep.
A lot of factors that not even us can properly identify and aggregate all of them. People have different. Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of reasons. They're hydra-headed, and even if you say, okay, cool, I'm going to tackle one factor, a lot of others would have to be, because internet crime is the bane of Nigeria. I was looking at the 2017 NCC report where it was stated that Nigeria ranked third in the world after US and UK in cybercrime.
Wow.
Yes, third in the world, and
we kind of just rank.
We rank, everywhere Nigeria ranks. The funny thing about Nigeria is this: Nigeria never ranks in the good things. Nigeria, science, innovation, life expectancy, but once you see any bad thing, the worst place to live, the worst place for a woman, the worst place to
extremes, man.
The extreme. That's when Nigeria pops up. Power, everything, all our indices
are
around.
Extremities. I mean, like in the more cultural context.
Yeah.
Like what's happening now is very important, because internet fraud is a response to a lot of social factors that built up over time. You have a period when the middle class pretty much just disappeared. Everyone that did not become poorer left to the UK or became richer. So, I mean, it's become obvious in today's society that the gulf between the rich and the poor is wider than ever before. And now you have people that are trying to make that leap but don't have the resources that they need. So they're trying to just do whatever they can to put bread on the table, and internet fraud is one of those ways, pretty much.
Well, that's why a lot of people are very sympathetic to this.
Yeah.
For me, I understand that. I complain about how life is. I complain about the country. I complain about things that are not going on the way they should. I like to think I am an idealist, but realism is slowly chipping that away. I complain about all of this, but go down a peg below me. Go down like a couple of pegs below me about like where we are. Look at the both of us. We're educated. We work. We've got some level of income coming in, and some people we have like if it gets too bad, I can walk into any company and I'll have a role. I could fashion a role waiting for me, but there'll be something somewhere, someone would show up.
There's opportunity.
Yeah, there is. I have opportunities and I have options. But when you go below me, what do you find? You find a bunch of people, like a mass of people. 91.6. Oh, I have my stats. Stat attack. So 91.6 people in extreme poverty. They look right, they look left, they look forward, they look backward. There's no help anywhere.
There's no hope.
There's no hope anywhere. So what happens? What happens to them? They wake up in the morning, they look you in the face. A lot of them, that's why we have a lot of crime, to be honest. Because people are desperate. And let me tell you something about poverty. Poverty. I've tasted it before. I know what it feels like. I know how crushing it is mentally and on every other level. When you are poor, the first thing that goes is your dignity. No, your peace first disappears. When you are poor in this country, your peace first disappears. And then what goes next? Your dignity. Your dignity disappears as a person. Then if you still remain poor for so long, or the level of your poverty deepens, the most important thing disappears. Hope. Hope disappears. And when a person loses hope, their humanization, their humanity goes. At that point, it's either I am an entity in this world. I'm in a situation where everything is against me. The rules don't apply anymore. I am rock bottom. I have to fight my way out.
You have to do whatever.
You have to do whatever. And some people would say, okay, here's a gun. Some people would say, here's a computer. People don't like violence. So they're like, okay. And then internet fraud. It's right there. People that we're robbing, we're not seeing them. Some of them we see them, but we find the way, depending on the technique people are using. But like we don't see them, we don't care about them. They don't matter, and we make justification for it. Not only do we blame the government, we blame ourselves, we blame society, and above all, we blame like Naira Marley said, we blame colonialism. You know, you take a white man's money and you're like, oh, look at that. You take, you took. What did they take from Nigeria? Okay, they took human people. You took people from Nigeria. This is us taking reparations. Who made you chief reparations officer? They swear for you.
I think it's important. Let's just get back
Okay.
to a certain level here. A lot of the individuals, Marley is the first really prominent person that has been arraigned before a court for internet fraud in this country. I really hope I'm right here. And I mean, it says a lot because this is something that most people, virtually everybody knows a Yahoo boy or knows of a Yahoo boy.
Yes.
So if you don't know that person face to face, like if you don't have a personal relationship with that person, you know of that person, you know, okay, this guy stays in this place.
The same way everybody knows an artist or knows of an artist.
An industry guy.
Yeah, an industry, not an industry guy, artist. Let's go down to like the creators, like the artist. Everybody knows an artist. Everybody, everybody knows someone who says I am an artist.
And you think
that's the same way it is with Yahoo now. Everybody knows a Yahoo person, or have heard of a Yahoo person, or has seen or know. Like Yahoo is so much in our consciousness now that it's normalized. It even moved past normalization now. People are evangelists for it, and that's why Naira Marley has a lot of support. Nobody has convicted him of any crime. He's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But Naira Marley has campaigned actively. Down to what happened. Look at what happened. Simi showed up and said, internet crime is affecting us. Maybe she had an experience and she said internet crime is affecting all of us. And people began to take shots at her. Of course, people will take shots at you for saying anything in this country.
It's an unpopular opinion.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is an unpopular opinion. So people took shots at Simi, and then she responded. And Naira Marley, his own contribution to the entire thing was that if you know about, was it slavery or colonialism?
Yeah,
colonization. You would know. You would understand Yahoo.
Bro, that's like, that's like 2 + 3 = catfish. I do not understand. There is no way that you want to say, okay, I understand where you come from in the sense that a lot of people still feel aggrieved for, I mean, it's pretty obvious for what happened to like Africa, and in terms of human resources, in terms of our resources and our stability as countries and as a continent till now. But then to say that your way of fixing that is to create or to support a system or an industry of young people, young and old people really, that are ripping off other people in other countries of their own money. Like that makes 0 sense, bro.
Well, where we come from, we'll justify anything. Nigerians will justify anything. Nigerians will sympathize with anything.
Yeah.
You do anything bad, you do anything stupid, you do anything wicked, you do anything senseless, you would have people in your corner screaming. Well, it's a reflection. They're screaming for you. Naira Marley came out of the court. He did the black power fist, raised his hand up. His 2 hands, rather. He raised them up and people hailed him, Malians. And I was wondering, like, what are you people representing? It just shows the level of degradation that this society has gotten into. It shows.
I think if we want to take this back a bit, we want to talk about Joey Akan's hit song last year.
Able God?
Able God.
Able God,
in a lot of ways, that's where this most recent chapter of Yahoo and Nigerian opened. Able God is an interesting song for a lot of reasons. Joey Akan was signed to YBNL, or was under the YBNL umbrella at some point. Left, I assume, to focus on school, and came back with a string of songs that did okay until Able God. Able God features Lil Kesh and Zlatan Ibile, and Zlatan's verse is the most interesting because he pretty much just tells you that so you're suffering, yeah, but you're a dull boy. Do you know why you're a dull boy? Because you can actually just go and take a laptop and get connected and get dirhams and pounds like me, and it's so fucking fascinating because like I just cursed. Yeah, and it's so fascinating because this guy literally went on a song to say this is the solution to our problems. Go fix yourself up and do Yahoo Yahoo.
Well, and you know, he after you do the Yahoo Yahoo, the most important part that we're missing here is that after the Yahoo Yahoo, you have to attribute it to God. Able God.
Able God.
Able
Shower your
God.
blessings.
Yes, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have money in this country now, regardless of how it's acquired. People stand. Evans had some people in his corner.
Yeah.
Evans, the suspected kidnapper, he had some people in his corner. It doesn't matter if people had like a lot of stories about how he maltreated them, how he took them, ripped them of their money, you know, held their freedoms back from them. That does not matter. What matters is that Evans found a way to a lot of people. Same as this Yahoo thing. You think all those boys that came out screaming Malians, 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 it's like nobody would look you in the face and tell you Mali, we are supporting Yahoo, but you know what they stand for. You've seen it in all the comment sections. Come out and say anything against Mali now, you would see a lot of people try to argue with you, try to justify not even Naira Marley's evangelism for crime. They try to justify they justify everything. They try to justify Yahoo itself, and you're like, and nobody in the history, honestly, I see all the comments and all, nobody in the history of Nigeria in the past few weeks have successfully justified Naira Marley's involvement in this or anything else without looking incredibly stupid.
But let me play the role of devil's advocate here, Joey. What if you'd say the music is pretty much just a reflection of the society as they see it? Because there are a lot of parallels between Yahoo Yahoo and Nigerian music.
Yeah.
And say music in other subcultures. Music and crime in other subcultures, pretty much. So let me just take that again. Because there are a lot of parallels between Yahoo Yahoo in Nigerian music and crime in other subcultures around the world. We're talking about like cocaine and the narco kingpins of the 80s,
yeah,
and football teams like Los Millonarios that
yeah,
were funded by coke money, and those footballers were like coke money boys and they were superstars. We're talking about like crack cocaine in the 80s and the 90s and hip hop itself, and there were rappers till now that cut themselves, like they cut their teeth by selling drugs on the street.
yeah.
So would it be fair to say Naira Marley, Zlatan, and the bunch of other people, and we'll get to that later, who are talking about this stuff in this way, are pretty much just reflecting what's happening in the society?
Yes, good art always reflects society, and for me, I think we've moved past the point where we are saying this is just a reflection of society. I think we've moved past that, because do you know what else is a reflection of society? You know what else? Indiscriminate rape. So why is nobody championing out and saying, you know, am I trouble? Am I a rapist? See, this is so dark. but think about why is nobody championing see trouble? Am I a shooter? See trouble. Am I a cultist? Nobody's doing all of that, because guess what? Yahoo, all of those things exist in our society, but guess what? None of those things have been normalized. Yahoo has. Why? Because it provides money. That's it. It just leads us to the money, and that's a reflection of society. In fact, okay, cool. That felt really good. I praise the Lord.
Praise and worship in the building.
Yeah, praise and worship in the building.
Hallelujah.
You know, lining our pockets with money from, you know, sources that we're very
undisclosed.
Okay, so like money is. This is all the reflections of society. Honestly, it is, and one of the most. Don't forget. A very cool way to be a part of the show is on social media. You can join the conversation on social media with on Instagram it's Cool FM Lagos, on Twitter it's Cool FM Nigeria. The hashtag is the game. You know, the game is the game. That's what it is. And talking about the game is the game. Yahoo boys are seen, and this is why people are very sympathetic to Yahoo boys. they're seen as gods, as saviors, as
They
messiahs.
are saviors.
Okay.
If we're being honest about this, and there are, I think, in my opinion, there are two ways to look at this from a bird's eye view perspective, in the sense of like, okay, let's see it as like a culture and what this means to this, and then
A bird's eye view. Let's see where the money is.
exactly, and then and then you want to look at it at a granular level. What is happening on the family scale? On the family scale, what's happening is that, and I'm talking from experience here, from like what I've seen. You have scenarios in like places like Ketu, Alakpere, Surulere, for instance, small communities that aren't necessarily like poor, but would have been middle class, say 40 years ago. They aren't now. And you have families that cannot afford to send their kids to the best schools. So these kids are going to public secondary schools. If you're around like the K2 Mount 12 area, you know schools like Koshofe College.
Yeah.
There's a standard of, or there's a lack of discipline that we know these schools for across Nigeria.
Okay.
Now, public school picking they go jump fence.
Yeah.
Now, all those kind of levels you get, and from there.
But you know, I know a lot of elites though. who are good jumpers. You know, they're really good jumper. I know a lot of elites.
Shout out to my nigga.
Yeah, I know a lot of elites who jump. Elites jump. They jump the queue.
I mean,
they jump fences. They jump the queue. They jump hoops. They jump protocol.
Real. So yeah, but we have scenarios where these kids don't have the same opportunities that they would. I want to call that pastor again. So we have scenarios where families are in communities that would have been middle class 30, 40 years ago, but are not now. And they have kids that they wish had the same opportunities that their peers in other better families do, but they don't. So you see these kids going to like public schools, and from public school, the guy struggles to get the right results to get into uni. He's at home for 2 years and 3 years, then he starts hanging around, going wherever he can, because when you start staying at home for that long and your excuse is that you're waiting for the right results to get into uni, nobody's going to listen to you. You need to get your hands busy. You can't be collecting 500 naira from home every day.
Yeah, sure.
So he goes out to the game center, he's betting, he gets his first like couple thousand. Like, yo, let me hustle. He's still trying to get into uni, but he's putting his hands around, dipping his hands in a bunch of stuff. And guys are like, okay, this guy, he likes to hustle, come around now. This is what to do. This is how you do it. Set up your VPN, go on these websites, bomb this place, tell this person, if the conversation goes this far, bring it to me, and I'll handle it. And he has conversations like that, and after a while, there's something hopeful. He passes it on to the next guy. That guy comes to him with $500. That boy is hooked.
Yeah.
You are not taking him away from that place ever again.
Yes.
He gets into uni by some stroke of luck or something happens. He continues in that way. And then he's coming from a society where his father probably has a degree and he knows that his father was not able to give him the opportunities he wants to give his kids. He's seen his country get worse. The figures are there. He can see it for himself. I mean, it's you cannot excuse this.
You forgot the part where he has music talent too.
Yeah, there's a small part between 200 level and 400 where he tries to sing and it doesn't exactly go too well. So he focuses on what is important. And you can see it as making excuses for these kids. But when you're living these things in real time, and the only time you've ever been comfortable financially, you've ever had a sense of peace, of knowing like what's going on in your life, was when you had money from G. All these things they were saying on social media, all these conversations are just conversations to these guys.
Yes, and that's why you can see the sympathy from a lot of people. A lot of people understand this. A lot of people get this. A lot of people understand that it's hard. It's hard to exist as a young person without education, without tertiary education in this country. Yeah, we can have a lot of stories, a couple of stories of people who made it without these in this country. But those are exceptions to the rule. The rule is that you don't have that, you're finished. You're done.
I mean, even if you do,
even
when you do, we have like, graduates on Twitter going, my upper may be on your TL.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. People come out with a lot of degrees.
This place, that place.
People come out with a lot of degrees, and what they're doing, they're not looking for they're looking for a helper on their TL. After their degree, while you can sit somewhere with a computer and you help yourself. And guess what? Nigeria is a rat race. It's a very big rat race. the people who are like, and we're so poor in this country that we've come to the point where money has become a god, and we fight for it for survival. And then if you can escape survival, that means you're thriving, and people who thrive are looked at as gods because they can do a lot of things.
And even more so when they can come back and give back to the community that they come from.
Yes.
A lot of these Yahoo boys,
a lot of these boys support their people. To be honest,
you would perceive them as
they spread the money.
A messiah complex, but in many ways they are messiahs where they come from.
Yeah.
Because like this one kid gets money and leaves, say, Agege or Malta, comes back 5 years later and sets up businesses, sends a couple of kids to school, solves the water issue, there's bad roads, brings someone to fix it. He's God. Everybody aspires to be like in that community, and when you begin to look at these things, you can see the larger picture. And what the reason why individuals like Naira Marley are supported so much for what you would deem glorification of crime. Yeah,
for music, bringing this into the music industry, Yahoo Boy blows in the music industry. He has friends as an artist, as a struggling artist who has friends who are struggling to do this music. He blows. The first thing he does is, I like music and I don't have anything I'm using all this money to do. Music is what I like, and I have friends that are trying to do this. Okay, let me put them on. He puts money into their careers. The more money he makes and the bigger he goes, if those friends succeed and become stars, guess who do you think they'll be singing in their song? Obasanjo, we ep. Like that's the question. Exactly. They'll drop these names. Because now where we man, now there man they find money from. Now where in God deal.
Bruh.
That's what it is. Now where they pick your bar from, now where your God day. So like you would want to make that happen. And then people are placing demands on artists. People are placing demand on artists to use their platforms, use their platforms. To be honest, it's bad table manners. If you're eating, do not talk.
Do not talk when
Close your mouth when you're eating. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, a reverse part of this is one of the reasons why a lot of people were angry with Naira Marley. For the people who, are very sympathetic. There's a huge supporting crowd that are very sympathetic to Yahoo, but they were very much against Naira Marley. Because no matter how much you have sympathy, no matter how much you have become a messiah or gained followers because you solve a few problems for them, or you represent a path out.
Mike is in your face.
Yeah, because you represent a path out of Yahoo, out of poverty. What you are doing is essentially a crime.
It's essentially a crime, and
it is.
Even further, you do not want to hear stories of people who have lost opportunities because of how the average young Nigerian male is perceived outside of Nigeria to be an internet fraudster straight out the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a story of some guy, I can't remember the details now, who said he lost a deal worth over $400,000 because of how young Nigerian males are perceived and the whole thing with internet fraud. And it's the effects are far-reaching, to be honest. Now we have communities where people say give these kids opportunities, but even now when you talk to certain people or certain young people, they will let you know that the road to the success that the legal way, as they call it, or legit, is promising is a lot longer than what they can get from learning Yahoo in a couple of months or a year or two. And it says a lot, really.
Yeah, but in the end, what matters to these people, the people who are yelling, who are screaming at, when I talk about like young people in Nigeria now, I don't talk about like the educated ones, the ones with a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of educated people that do this, yes.
Yeah.
But for the people who are coming out and screaming, "Oh, we support Naira Marley, leave this country. Yahoo boys are not Nigeria's problems. Nigeria has too many problems." Those ones, they feel justified. They're justified in a lot of ways. They feel justified in a lot of ways. They feel like you that is telling them not to do this. Okay, you're telling them to stop this Yahoo. How would they? Are you giving them another way to make money?
I mean,
you can. And in this country, when they ask you that question, the only thing that stays with you is anything that just stays with you. You wouldn't have an answer. There's no answer, because how many people can you employ? How many people can you take off the streets?
I mean,
no matter how wealthy you are.
We talk about emerging industries like, say, tech or the entertainment industry and media in Nigeria, communications, and how they're doing good. But we also forget that these industries are nestled in certain places. The entire tech ecosystem in Lagos in Nigeria is mostly just Lagos, a couple of guys in the south, Abuja. And when you think about the scores, millions, tens of millions of kids up north, millions of kids down south that are not even going to school to start with, you realize that that conversation is a non-starter, because you cannot access opportunities that you do not know exist.
Yeah.
You cannot. And these kids know of Yahoo Boys. They do not know that you can learn to code and build software with the same computer that you used to rip off a woman in Texas of all her savings. And I mean, it's pretty obvious where it goes from there.
Well, in all of this, what matters is what matters in this is the blame ultimately. The blame lies with everyone. To be honest, with everyone, with everyone. Those who have projected the Yahoo thing, those who have created enabling environments for it, those who are evangelizing for it, and those who have it goes round. It goes through round, and that's why you can't with a straight face tell people that even though Yahoo is not the way, what's the way? What's the way? And then artists artists are more likely let's be fair, artists are more likely to not support you saying don't do Yahoo, because all over the place, to be honest, look at the music industry. When was the last time? Because the last time we saw like major money coming to the industry that's official was from Kupanda Holdings giving Don Jazzy a bag, giving Mavens Global a bag. With that, they've launched Mavens Global. They've invested in a few artists. They just even today, we're recording on a Friday. Today, they just released a compilation song, an all-star record where they introduce new people. You know, people are creating sub-labels under them. They are trying to spread the investment as much as possible and create viable businesses. But what happens to the rest of all the boys hustling? These are like the ones we see on the news. Do you know how many artists are in this Lagos? Do you know how many artists? I once had an artist tell me, to be honest, and this broke my heart, and I'll keep bringing it up. He moved from another western state to Lagos, southwestern state to Lagos, and it was like, bro, you go help me, you just help me with anything. If you want, make I come, they wash your car every day. I make I come stay with you, just they wash your car every day. I'm like, that level of desperation. What if I needed someone to be a mule? Or what if I needed someone a drug mule? Or what if I needed someone to, if I needed someone to handle a branch of my Yahoo business?
To manage your conversations.
To manage conversations for me. That guy automatically gets employment.
Yes.
And he'll be grateful for it. And you can't tell that guy anything because his country has failed him.
And in many ways, there are very numerous replications of that scenario across the Nigerian music industry now. You have people whose patrons have their like entire 10 fingers and 10 toes in Yahoo money, and it's difficult. It's pretty much impossible for them to come out and like say anything bad about these guys because they know where their bag is coming.
Yes.
And while it's easy to say, "Yo, speak up and trust in your talent," what's the alternative? When was the last time anybody in Nigerian music blew up from the streets? Without any form of support or promotion. I cannot, for the life of me, remember.
No, look at it, and promotion is expensive. I had this. I've always said this, where they say all this nothing to something story in Nigerian music industry. Nothing to something story.
There's no such
like there's no such thing. It's a fairy tale. It doesn't. There's no grass to grey story that does not have a huge injection of cash somewhere. Look at the people that have blown. Let's look at the people that have backed them recently. Last year, we had Tenny Blue last year, who backed her Dr. Dollar. That guy has a lot of money. We have Kiss Daniel Blue, who backed him up.
The jewel guy.
Exactly. We have Rema is blowing up now.
Off on the Maven.
Yes, now Maven Kupanda push. You know, Peruzzi Blue, who backed him up. Davido. when Pato Rankin blew, he had backings from Timaya, and then at some point, Foston Music put money into him. Runtown had tried his best, did a lot of things, and then blew with Galado.
Yeah.
Guess what? What the money that made him a star? Money from Dilly. The money that made him a star was money from Dilly.
And even in scenarios where you see the odd kid or the odd viral clip or viral song,
Yeah.
that someone snags them up real quick.
Yeah,
You
someone
have
snags-
scenarios
yes.
like Mayor Kun,
Yes.
like Terry on
Yes.
Starboy, and I mean it's pretty. That's how it works.
Yeah,
pretty much.
the music industry is expensive. The music industry is so expensive that if you ask me now, how much does it take to push a mainstream single, not a song, not even video, just a single? You want to do it right, you want to do it the right way. That's like 5 million naira.
Soft.
That's 5 million naira. If you want to
Soft.
push it, just pushing the song. Then by the time you throw in the audio and you say you want to shoot the video rather, you want to shoot a big video, and you want to plug it all over, dude. That money is not money that money will be hard for a businessman to say, I'm putting my money into this, take this and go and do song, because you know how the industry is. There's no infrastructure. It's everything is fractured. It's like a jungle, man. Return on investment is very low. Why would people want to put their money or bank on you? Why would people want to invest in you when they can give it to a farmer to plant maize and then they harvest? Yes, now you ask. I rather put my money.
It's funny
Yeah,
because
it's funny
something
now.
I've actually been thinking about.
Yes, now I rather give my money to the next guy to plant maize. As they go, me at the snap selfie, they say yes, this is my maize. At the moment
back
it
to the
goes,
farms,
yes,
feed
now
the
yeah,
nation.
people will buy my maize. But this one, by the time I put my money, into an artist, and then the artist sings a song and then releases it, and the next thing now we have a lot of kurokere.com releasing that music for free. This is what I'm supposed to sell, bro. And there's no law that is enforced that criminalizes free music. We're not backed by government. Everything people have done in this market, they've done it in spite of the country, in spite of where they are. And these are the people that you would want for them not to support wherever their money is coming from. How? How?
I mean, there's another scenario now where it's actually going from the artists needing the Yahoo boys to the Yahoo boys needing the artists, because the clampdown on internet fraud in recent years has been, I mean, on the surface it looked a lot more intense. We've not seen many convictions, to be honest.
Yeah.
And everybody,
You see a lot of parades, so to be honest, every day the parade person, every day.
Instablog posts somebody on social media, blah blah blah, person caught.
And that's it.
And that's it. You very rarely hear or see any convictions. And the scenario now is that people are becoming more. These G boys are becoming more. Let me tell you again. So these G boys are becoming more wary of law enforcement or security agencies, and they need to claim their money. They need to be able to go out in society and say, okay, this is what I do. So when the person stops them on the road and say, you're driving this car, where's your ID card, where do you work? You can pull out a business card that says CEO
of this record
Caps
label.
Lock record label.
CEO of anything. CEO of Mushroom Records.
And so they aggregate.
Yeah, exactly.
These
That's what it is.
And pretty much just dump money into whatever the hell they want to do, or whatever they feel sounds good.
Yeah.
So they can claim their money.
Yeah, they can claim their money.
So
as long as there's inventory, money.
It's a very symbiotic relationship. Both sides need each other.
And so far, both sides are doing fine. They are doing, for all of you can make all this noise, but both sides, they are doing okay. Over there now, it's like Walt Disney in there now, like they're dancing. They're living happily ever after. That's what it is. And so all of this noise on the side, that's why when I see people come out and they scream, you people should use your platform, I'm like, Tanya platform, Like, what is this platform that you need? Is it the one that you give them, or the one that money has funded, and they know where the money is coming from? They know their core
fans, they know where their money is coming from, they know where it's going through, they know their reality.
Yes.
They know the people who look up to them. They know the heights they aspire to. They know what they set out to achieve when they came in the game. And so the music industry is a space that is in a lot of ways prone to the moral values that we've created as a society that's afraid of internet fraud and its effects on us. and Nigeria as a whole.
Welcome back to the Game Uncensored. The game is the game as always, and this is Cool FM 96.9 FM. You can always be a part of the conversation. Don't worry, I'm going to respond to everything you have. Tell me how it is. If it's biting you, do you hate the fact that I know they do Yahoo?
What the hell?
Am I a Yahoo boy? And then you can on Twitter it's Cool FM Nigeria. On IG it is Cool FM Lagos. For me it is Joey Akan, Joey Akan, and Shegun it's
Shegun Akande. That's SEGUN AKANDE with an underscore.
Yeah. Okay. So this I like the song we just played. It handles the solution. Everybody keeps asking. You can point fingers, but what are the solutions to this? The solution to this, down to like on a very basic level is money. People need money. People need ways to get money. People need funding.
Survival is the basic.
Yes, exactly. Nigeria is a place that has survival as its love language. Honestly, if somebody was dating Nigeria now as a girl now, they'll be like, "Hey, what will you do for me?" I'll be like, "Baby, I'll make you survive.
I'll keep you alive.
I'll keep you alive." Come by.
That's all it is.
Exactly. So that's what we respond to survival. You give a guy a way to eat and it's good. You give a guy a way to thrive. You give a guy a way to out of poverty. You give a guy a way out of lack, out of penury, and he's good. If you're not providing them that way, if you're not giving them money or giving them a means to make money or giving them a way to make money, giving them a means to make money for themselves, then they won't listen to you. Nobody would listen to you because you want to take away this thing from them now. What are you replacing it with?
Yeah.
Are you going to fund the videos? Are you going to pay for promotion? Are you going to pay for label manager services? Are you going to pay for distribution? Are you going to pay for all the flights that they have to do to go push their music in other markets? Are you paying for what are you paying for? Nothing. You're just telling them stop this. Okay, now I've stopped it now. What will I do? They don't have that.
I think when you even look at it from the origins and the causes of these things in society, like you want to have institutions and structures that work, and that's the common factor across board, from music to education to the reason why we have millions of kids out of school and more than a fair share of our population is living in absolute penury.
Yeah.
It's because our institutions and our structures don't work.
Yeah.
Pretty much. In the music industry, you cannot go in with a certain amount and understand where that money will be funneled into and where it will get back from.
Yeah.
Everything is erratic.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it's time and chance. Now God they make person blow.
For this country, now God
it's God. Nobody, anybody
God.
that tells you I can blow you, that person will scam you.
No way.
People can tell you I can optimize your business. People can tell you I can make it competitive. But anybody that says me myself I go blow you, that person will scam you.
We're in a society.
Especially if you have money.
It's it's a place where the anarchy defies all forms of like prediction, of understanding, or like it defies logic. So what we need to do first is just fix our society, create a place where a kid can come out of primary school and know that this is what I want to do in secondary school, and then in university. And yes, the world changes, and in 10 years, tech skills might be more important than any other set of skills in the entire world. But if there's a system that works and evolves with these things, the millions of children across Nigeria that get into that system will evolve and come out and know that, okay, I'm getting a job, I have opportunities, I have there are things on my table.
Like there's hope.
There's hope.
There's hope. There's a legit way to lead me to.
But
the
question I want to ask you, Joey, is talking about the artists that seem to glorify crime in their songs.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line?
Where do we draw the line?
Does it go from social commentary to actual glorification of crime?
There's no line anymore. That's the main lesson. Apart the main lesson we learned from this Naira Marley situation is that the opposite of upcoming artist is a downgoing artist. That's the main lesson here. But if we're ever going to like maybe pick side like downgoing artist. Okay. The main lesson from this Naira Marley situation right now is that the main lesson, the best part of it that everybody can learn from here is that, and can totally agree on here, everyone, is that the opposite of an upcoming artist is a downgoing artist.
Wow.
Generations of people.
Shout out to that's Rugged Man.
That's what, yeah, he told.
Shout out to
Naira Marley
Rugged
told
Man.
Rugged Man is a downgoing artist. Generations of people have tried to find the right classification for an artist that isn't popping anymore. But shout out to Naira Marley, downgoing
That's
artist.
downgoing.
If we're ever going to get another lesson from this, it's that our reality has changed. A lot of things are no longer as it seems. We cannot sit on the side of morality. Also, there are no lines. There are no lines anymore. There's no way you show up and say, oh, this should be this, because in the end, with every line of morality you throw at them, they will ask you, ep your boy. Can you ep your boy?
Who you help?
Who you ep? This is the who you ep? This is the Game Uncensored here. I and Shegun have been talking about it. Don't forget, this goes on Saturday 7 p.m. every week. We're right here giving you the best from the music industry. For the relevant handles to follow, go on Instagram, Cool FM Lagos. On Twitter, it's Cool FM Nigeria. I am Joey Akan across all platforms, and this is
Shegun Konde _ across all platforms.
The game is the game, people. See you next week.